Okay, quick look through Friday's end of day closing screens. I will run the trend models tomorrow once I've got the US data, so I don't have to do it twice. But interesting day out there, isn't it? Solid gap up, holding the gap. Let's just buzz through these markets. Transports, leader. I mean, look at that. Industrials. S&P through highs. Nasdaq through highs. Russell through highs. Look at all those gaps in the Russell. Just go back to the S&P. I think this is a little bit of a blow off in enthusiasm. You know, it's not something I'd ever trade on, but you know, let's just draw this thing here, this gap in here as a psychological area. It's not a clean air gap, but it certainly is a gap what might want to be filled at some point. So we'll just draw it in. Put it in orange. And we will see, take that swing point out. You'll notice the swing point here, there has been no false signals all the way back to, we got one here, didn't we? And the next swing point was the low. It was an accumulation day as well, so let me just tidy up this chart. I know I shouldn't do it while I'm doing my screening and wasting other people's time, but my OCD was kicking in. So we'll leave that there for a while. Should really drag it out a bit further. So if you're new to trading bases, we do this a lot, big picture levels, and there's a reason for it, you know. Smart money is not looking at 50-day average or whatever, you know. It's just not, you know. They're looking at big areas in the market, and you know, big area comes all the way down to it. Big area comes all the way down to it. Doesn't quite get there, but it was close, wasn't it? But you know, you do that on all the markets, you get a pretty good picture, and go and study those pullbacks in the bullish market. The index trend model absolutely nailed it this time, and it's nailed it many times in the past. It's just so obvious with me bringing it all together on the same dashboard. But which was the goal? To make it clearer for everyone to see what was happening in the market internals. So let's just buzz through these. It looks like the US is going to be an extremely busy screen tomorrow. I have seen a bit of shuffling in the top end of the GTRS here with a few stocks what I've, you know, technically improved. So Gulf Keystone has made it up into the top of the list here as well. Commodity, the top of the list, littered with commodity related, isn't it? It's littered with them, whether it's oil, whether it's precious metals. So let's just buzz through these markets. I'll jump straight into the just hit the pro gaps and then go straight into the closing highs. It's always quiet on a Friday. People tend to catch up later, so I might do a video just buzzing through the filtered list again. I'm going to try and get really busy in the background again today. My sister was doing the dogs. I went and filled my van up this afternoon and literally poured the top in oil. So, how many have we got today? I've got 76 on here today. Best number we've seen in 7 weeks, over 7 weeks. Well, 7 weeks exactly, I think. So that's a pretty solid number. Loads of investment trusts. Well, not loads, but they're starting to float back to the surface, aren't they? Construction, electricity. This one's a lose less scenario. Yeah. Swing move traded, obviously, for I've been holding this as a longer term hold. VLX new highs on the move. And, it's a bit of a sloth, isn't it? But it's doing okay for us. Sloths always end up. It's always easier to get a initial position size with a sloth because they don't move as much in percent terms. You end up with very tight brackets. Higher price, tight bracket equals more gap risk straight away, obviously. But they do move the needle because it's easier to get weightings on early. Let's fly through these. Diploma as well. Go back to what we were watching. Hard to catch this one unless you got involved in the sort of little tightening up area sort of here somewhere. Very hard to catch because of this big loose bar here. I would have, if we got a swing bar here, and I would have totally got involved. But that shows strength. The best are so obvious as well, so obvious. But the strongest ones can be hard to catch sometimes. But yeah, really obvious to us. Hiding in plain sight. Same again, IG just up there, not ignoring the pullback. Should be the first ones to move. Games Workshop's just traded new highs. S4. SDI's just traded 6-month closing highs. It's still super loose action, this. Would I have another nibble at it? Well, if it, tightens up, yeah, maybe. SDI. Let's just go again at that. Not exactly powered by I said that last time, didn't I? Powered by turnover, but fueled by turnover. But if markets want to come back on, stocks want to come back on. What's the word for it? Get the trend on again. yeah, definite trail point on that this time. As long as it's not phantom close, it could be a phantom close. I haven't looked at the intraday, but it looks like it's managed to close it. You know, the high before the pullback, this one here, didn't quite make it here, you see, but looks like a price action trail to me. Trustpilot, Filtronic, MTI, holding up well. You know, I thought this just went a little bit, you know, a little bit fast, a little bit. I mean, it's got some long wicks there, but I expected it just to come right back in and test everyone, even if it was going higher. But, you know, if it can just consolidate that last move. Got hiccups. It's a pretty good move to start with. Time will tell. Got hiccups. And into the swing points. See what's in there. In order of sector again. Just a quick visual through these ones. What have we got here? Lose less scenario. Feedback. We haven't seen this one in some time. Yeah, awful. Awful. Should be delisted. And Tristel. Choppy stock. New highs on that move there by the looks of it. As long as it's not a phantom close, which it shouldn't be in a large cap stock. What was the one? Jamie just kicked me into touch today and just said have a read of the. Oh, it's not made it. I'll have a look on the other one. ITM. So I'm going to jump back over to ITM. Oh, just hit the wrong button. I'll just be honest, Jamie, I haven't read this yet, but I'm just going to go over visually. So obviously, this stock here is definitely punching higher today. Did that make the 6-month closing highs, or did it get filtered out by me? Yeah, it's there. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's had its moments in the past, this stock. Obviously, you can see it has. It's down in that price zone. And I haven't looked. I'll just punch it in for you. in fact, you know, I'll screen grab this in a bit and just drop it so we can compare when these new forecasts start to drop. I'll just say firstly, I've seen it 1,000 times. You know, this thing's still loss making. It's a lose less scenario. If it's going to be a big winning stock of the future, you know, it's going in the right direction, even though it's from a loss. But so don't get too excited about a news report. The best way to do this is compare. You know, if you're trading a stock because of turnover, well, have a look at the whole sector and maybe have a look at the best turnover in the sector. And you know, sometimes the news will come to one stock, but another stock is kind of, you know, this might be getting a little share of the orders, but another stock might be getting the bulk of the orders, and it's just not getting the hype. So you know, the numbers don't lie, but you can't argue that this thing has gone out on the largest volume. I'll just zoom it out because in fact, let me just do something for you here. This big run here, I'll go all the way to there. You know, sometimes you're going to get this action and it's still just going to come all the way back to earth before it actually starts its real ascent. So for me, it's, you know, never put any kind of earnings in front of the chart technicals. Always trade my pitch, always. And you can see that there's been, you know, many opportunities once it gets its trend on. Breakout, first pullback. Here's your base on base, higher high. You can see I've actually got a, you know, a swing point from this pullback to this stage 2, or this base on base. It is a stage 2 really, but pullback here, higher high, goes off on its journey. You know, takes 2 legs higher, comes all the way back to earth, builds a base. See, I've got a mark here on this swing kicker, back to base. I'll tell you what, one trick pony. Well, you know, the job is to know everything about how stock price action trades in trending stocks. And you know, it's all there: active low, high, little ledge cheat there, and then you've got another base break there, and everything I sort of have in the, it's just, you know, you'll see it in every chart. Stocks have to break out. Stocks always pull back at some point in the trend, and you know, good trends have multiple bases, etc. So the job is, you know, finding the best merch and applying risk management to the price action. So the job, you know, is this the best merch? Well, I don't know. The price action will probably tell us if this is the best merch. You know, following this bit of a bottle rocket move, see what follows. If it's just that drifting action, no base, well, maybe it's, you know, maybe it's just got to wait until it's at least a return to, you know, expected to post profit, you know, post growth, rather than just be hopes and dreams in through the binoculars. So yeah, things to think about on that one. I'll throw it on the watch list and we'll watch how it acts from this pop. You might say, well, that's a pro gap. Well, you know, if that fits exactly what you want to trade, you know, and it comes in, you know, it's very small if it's a pro gap. It's more likely to be an exhaustion move, but who knows? And you might get swing point down here, is what I'm saying, just a normal sort of retrace swing point. And that'd be the next time I'd look at it myself. So yeah, end of day. Where is it? There's my page. There it is. Let's go and see what's on here. BTG SDI, just at 6-month closing highs, in IMI. Triple IMI frames. I can't remember seeing that one. Oh, just at back at highs. So IMI pullback, yeah, messy action, but gapped up, hard to catch, I suppose. SDI. Just trading 6 month highs. Say it again. I'd like to see a base wherever. You know, I'll tell you the best place to see a base would be up here, wouldn't it? Now, if it made it there, you've got to remember how, you know, why will this stock pull back? Well, 40% off the lows. You know, at some point it's got to consolidate. It'd be better if it punches through 6 month highs before building something. I expect it could do it soon myself, but yeah, can tighten up, you know. That's what we want to see. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it there, and I'll then I can just go through the screens at weekend, do a video at some point, and I'll upload the trend models over the weekend. Probably tomorrow morning, actually. Nice up, two good weeks in a row. You know, still in a drawdown, but nothing like we were a couple of weeks ago. Up on the year though. Happy days. Cheers all.